A man invades the women's locker room at Gold's Gym in Los Angeles.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm asking you a question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay.
He's not even trying to look like a woman. He's just a straight up dude. He doesn't look like a woman. He's not dressed like a woman. That is just a dude and had the nerve to walk back in. So this happened. And the woman speaking is a black woman. So let me get this straight, guys. We are now, and I guess Gold's Gym suspended her membership. So we now have people taking the side of a white man over a black woman. That's how you know things are really bad. And then this comes out the other day, you guys. The story unravels. It just keeps getting better. In news that will shock no one, it turns out the trans-identified male who was in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym is a convicted felon who did time for domestic violence. We've warned for years that predators are using the trans label as a cover to harm women and children. The first video, you guys, when I started talking about politics, the first video I ever did was about the man who had an erection next to a little girl at the Wee Spa in downtown LA. And of course, you know, a month later, it all comes out. These people are convicted. You know, they're convicted of something. They're pedophiles, whatever it is. And I couldn't believe that they revoked her gym membership. And this is allowed. I'm like, what's stopping that guy from coming in and being violent? And also, he was being very aggressive with her. And did you hear? She was like, oh, now all of a sudden, look, you're acting just like a man because that's what you are, because that's what happens. I've had debates with trans people, and the second you call them out and ask them to step into reality, they get very, very, very aggressive. But look, we all saw this coming. So we have Mamdani. Mamdani's win exposes the ideological divide in New York City and the country, and it's not about his policies. It's about identity. His base is made up of almost entirely young progressives and recent transplants, while even mainstream Democrats are calling out his extremism. So we have an image. White men are not the only group in New York City that did not vote for Mamdani. Literally white men versus everybody else. So this is a very important chart. It's pretty much, yeah, as you can see, it's white men versus everybody else who voted for this guy. And we have an image. 84% of women aged 18 to 29 voted for Mamdani. That's really bad, you guys. We've been saying for quite a long time. Specifically, white liberal women are destroying this country. I don't know why they are so radical. I assume it's, I don't know, everything going on in the schools, but it's very, very bad. So we have another image. Insane statistics show it's mostly New Yorkers, new New Yorkers who supported him. So this is the one that I think is the most important. It says this is probably the only set of stats from the New York election you really need to know. So how long have you lived in New York City? Less than 5 years ago. Less than 5 years you've lived there. 83%. 5 to 10 years, 76%. 83% is almost everyone, okay? You were born in New York City. You were an actual New Yorker. 34%. So who voted for him? The same people who statistically are ruining this country, you guys. Okay, who voted for him? Transplants, which have ruined New York City. Liberal white women and hipsters have moved to New York, and this is who they voted for, okay? Because when shit hits the fan, they're going to escape right back to where they came from. It doesn't affect them. I see these TikTokers. They're living in $15K a month apartments. They're taking Ubers. They're going to expensive grocery stores. This isn't going to affect them. They came in and voted and ruined New Yorkers' lives who did not vote for this. This is not New Yorkers, okay? And then when things get bad, they're probably going to go back to their ironically conservative parents' house, who probably are very wealthy and support their lifestyle. And this is going to royally over everyone who is a real New Yorker. And I saw Daily Wire did a video interviewing New Yorkers. no, people who actually own bodegas and all this stuff. It's very, very bad. So you have transplants and you have immigrants, and I guarantee everyone that voted for him is obviously Muslim. And then also the self-hating liberal Jews. We got to have a talk next show. Okay, you guys? So we have a video. Ted Cruz lists countries mentioned by the next mayor of America's largest city. Notice what's missing here.
I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
So he goes on to list pretty much 20 different countries that he has to thank and all the people of those countries. Notice he didn't say thank you, New Yorkers. Thank you, Americans. He thanked everyone else, ironically, when white liberals are the ones who overwhelmingly voted for him, along with, whoever else is in that group. So yeah, no thank you to the country that made this stream possible, the guy who's never had a job before, who's a trust fund kid. And I want to mention, when I've been reviewing a lot of these clips today, the fact that he says he's a socialist, to me, is one of the craziest things here. It's one thing to say you are a Democrat and you are progressive. It's another thing to outright admit you are a socialist. That is the craziest part to me. And of course, never thanks Americans, doesn't thank New Yorkers, doesn't thank America, the only place that this could happen, okay? Because other countries, by the way, you have to have a resume. You have to have a job before you become a leader. Not in America, though. You could just be a trust fund kid who lives in a rent-controlled apartment.